I'm Diane, and welcome to GLP-1 Chronicles. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've watched any of my previous videos, thanks for coming back. Today I want to talk about some bad habits or some old habits that I find that I'm kind of sliding back into, and it's pretty concerning to me. When I started my weight loss journey back in November of 2022, I started losing weight very rapidly while being on Mounjaro, and that lasted for quite a while. I'm now currently down 117 pounds from my highest weight, but the past 6 months or so, my weight loss is pretty much stalled, and I'm frustrated. And even though I've gone up in dose, I'm still bouncing around the same couple of pounds. I'm gaining them, then losing them, gaining them, then losing them. And I'm also getting frustrated with tracking all of my food. When I started on Mounjaro, I wasn't tracking anything. I was just trying to get through every day, eating whatever I could to just get nourishment. And so I lost weight rapidly because I wasn't eating much. And it seems like ever since I started tracking all of my food, that's when I've been having, well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that I haven't lost weight, because I have. It's just, I'm finding I'm starting to get obsessive about it. And that's how I always was when I was doing diets, like Weight Watchers and counting points, or 21-day fix, and you had to count the little containers and how many of those you ate every day, how many greens, how many reds, all that. And it got obsessive for me. And I'm finding now, with tracking all of my food, including all of my macros, I'm obsessing about the calories. I did the online calorie calculator for what I should be, for the number of calories I should be eating in order to lose 1 pound a month, or 1 pound a month, 1 pound a week. And basically that's, your metabolic rate minus 500 calories. And I'm finding that every day as I'm tracking the food that I'm eating, I'm obsessing about it. And I don't like the feeling. The calculation for me to lose 1 pound a week is I should be eating about 1,900 calories. And I'm finding that when I get to later in the day, if I'm only at 1,600 calories, I'm obsessing about the fact that I have to reach this golden number of 1,900. And I start eating things that I'm not that they're bad. It's just, I'm eating more than I really feel like I should. And I'm eating because I just think I have to get to that calorie mark. And whether I'm hungry or not, I'm eating just to get to that calorie number. And I feel like I'm overeating, if that makes any sense. And I'm too fixated on the number. And I think I want to take a step back from that. I think what I'm going to do, and I'm still in the midst of my 60-day challenge, where one of the things that I was going to try to do was to track all the food that I eat. And I think I'm becoming too fixated on it. So I've kind of decided what I'm going to track is my protein. I want to make sure I'm getting the protein I need every day. And I've actually been doing very well with that recently. But I think tracking the calories and weighing every little gram and, calculating every single calorie that's going in my mouth, I think it's putting me in a bad headspace. And I think I need to take a break from that. It's not to say I won't go back to it, but I think for right now, I think I need to stop that. We do have a lot of things going on around here. I've mentioned that we do have a very ill cat. In fact, she's sitting here. She's on the bed right now. Look at that pretty girl. Psst, 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 psst. Cookie. Hi, say hello to everybody. Miss Cookie. What a pretty girl. My sweet little girl. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Oh, what a nice girl. You're such a nice girl. Are you purring? Oh, she's purring. Yay. It's been a struggle to get her to eat. She, she's got multiple organ things going on, and her appetite is a little wonky. And despite trying to give her medicine to help with nausea and things like that, she's still sort of picky about what she's eating. So I'm constantly juggling different things to give her, as I called it this morning, a smorgasbord of different things, hoping that she'll eat something. So I've got that going on. We have 2 senior dogs. One of the dogs suddenly decided she didn't like her food anymore. So I've been struggling to find something else to replace what she was eating. It's the same food she's been eating almost her entire life, and she's just decided she doesn't like it anymore. So she's also got medical issues going on. So I'm trying to juggle all of these things, and it's just too much, honestly. And trying to juggle my own, trying to figure out what to eat and to weigh everything, and to do all of these things. It's taking up too much space in my brain, and I don't want to do it anymore. I always hated tracking the food anyway. I think by taking a step back and just tracking the protein, make sure I'm getting the protein that I need every day, and not be so fixated on calories. I think for right now, that's what I need to do. So, if you have, I don't even know if it exists, if there's any sort of app where you can just track your protein and maybe your fiber or whatever, but not with the calories, let me know. Put it down in the comments. I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if it exists. If not, I can do it on paper. I love papers and pens and stationery, and I will write things down. That's fine. But if there's an app, and you know of it, put it down in the comments. That's just like for protein and nothing else. And I'm gonna step away. I usually use my Net Diary to track all my food, but it tracks everything. It tracks fiber, it tracks carbs, it tracks protein, it tracks calories, it tracks sodium, it does all of these things. And I just want something that does protein. So if you know of any apps or anything like that, put it down in the comments for me, because I don't have a clue. My girl Cookie is just eating. She just started eating from one of the dishes I left for her this morning. Go Cookie! Yay! Sweet girl. What a sweet girl. Is that yummy? Yeah? That's good. So if you hear licking in the background, that's her eating. Okay. As for the rest of my 60-day challenge, I'm doing really well. Just to refresh, I came up with 6 things that I wanted to do for 60 days. And one of them was track all my food. And I've been doing that, but like I said, I'm going to adjust that to just tracking my protein from now on. Another was get 7,500 steps and or 30 minutes of intentional movement. I've done pretty well with that. There's been a couple of days here and there where overwhelmed with the animals and dealing with their various illnesses, that I didn't get one or the other, but I've been really trying to do one or the other every day. And I think I've done pretty well with that. Another thing is drinking 8 ounces of water in the morning when I first get up, and I've done really well with that. And that's something I think I'm going to stick with after I finish my 60-day challenge. I like getting that. I'm usually pretty dehydrated when I get up in the morning. So having that 8 ounces of water, I think, is helping me. So I'm going to continue to do that after the challenge is over. Another thing is to read 15 minutes a day. I'm doing that. I'm enjoying that. That is also something I'm going to continue to do once the challenge is over. I'm reading a book right now on a woman who, it's called The Waiting, and it's about a woman who was raped when she was 17 and she gave birth to a child. And I think it was in 1929 or 1928 she gave birth. And she gave the baby up for adoption, and for her entire life she wondered what happened to her. She was hoping that she was doing well, and 70 something years after she had given birth, they actually were able to meet. So it's kind of a really interesting story. It was in the news a few years back, but the book is really interesting, and really gives you a glimpse into the time of the 20s and 30s when how different things were. So yeah, so that I've been reading that. I'm almost done with that book, so I'm not sure what I'm going to read next. Another thing was practice an active self-care. Trying to do that, trying to squeeze that in with everything else. And the final thing is to spread positivity. I've been doing that every day, and I find that I'm getting back something out of it. Encouraging other people, cheering them on, congratulating them when they have some sort of success, whether it's weight loss or a new baby, or they got a new job, or whatever it is. I'm feeling better when I do that, so I think that is also something I'm going to continue to do after the challenge is over. So with all of that, we've had other things going on. My husband just got a huge promotion at work, so he's got a couple weeks before he starts the new job. He's going to stay in the same place. He's just getting promoted. His boss is leaving, but he's not exactly taking over his boss's job, but he's taking over a lot of the responsibilities of his boss. So he's got a lot of upheaval in his job. My job is chugging along. Same old, nothing new, exciting, or different with that. So at least that's stable for the time being. So like I said, there's a lot going on in the background here right now. So if you found this video interesting or entertaining or informative, I'd appreciate it if you'd give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd subscribe. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I appreciate all of you folks for sticking around with me as I continue my journey to lose some more weight. And I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Give a little bit of loving, just a little bit the real.